Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.
You've just joined the Prepper Broadcasting Network, where we promote self-reliance and independence. The views and opinions expressed are strictly those of the host or their guests. Visit us in the interactive chat room at prepperbroadcasting.com.
Good evening, everyone. If you're a prepper, you're in the right place at the right time. This is the Prepping Academy, skirting the globe through miles of fiber optic cable at nearly the speed of light directly to you, with your hosts, Forrest and Kyle. Coming to you from the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, the information you get from the show could save your life. Whether you're a veteran, beginning prepper, or just curious, there is something here meant for you.
Hey, welcome to the Prepping Academy.
Hello.
I'm Forrest, who got tenderfoot across the table from us.
Blisterfoot.
And again, he walked in and it said, "You've got 1 minute."
1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute, sure did.
I bet you were flying down the road. He's got another commitment he goes to.
Yeah.
So, one time you might be late and I'll have to shoot. I did send you a gun icon.
Did. So I didn't know.
But the gun is a squirt gun. It doesn't have the same meaning as they used to have. You know what I mean? It used to be like a real gun, and now it's a squirt gun. So anyway.
Oh, you have the apple, the
yeah,
gentler, the snowflake phone.
Dude, where's my knife? Hey guys, if you're on Blog Talk Radio listening right now and you saw the live show come up and you started listening to us, go over to prepperbroadcasting.com. That's prepperbroadcasting.com, and you can listen to us live. And there's a chat room in there that's interactive. And usually I block the chat room off so Tenderfoot can't see it, because when his eyes hit the chat room, it's like he goes bug eye and he can't do anything else. I mean, you got to train yourself to look and talk at the same time. Can you do that?
We can try, yes.
We need to have classes during the day for that. But yes, and so I kind of turn it. I'll turn it. Everybody says, "Hey, Tenderfoot," all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Now you're trying to get him to look at the screen so he can't talk. So yeah, that's just wrong. So anyway, hey, go over to prepperbroadcasting.com. We are live every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're listening to this by a podcast,
yes,
we are live right now, but not right now that you're listening to it. If you're on the podcast, listen.
Yeah,
but
all right.
But on Monday nights, you can go to prepperbroadcasting.com and listen to us live, and we sound so much better live.
Yes.
And we look better live.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should see us.
Yeah, dude. So tonight we have an interesting topic tonight. It's going to get very serious. Some of the things I'm going to say is going to shock you. It's not going to shock me yet. It's not even going to be nice. It's just plain out truth.
He's never nice.
Well, it's just truth, man. Truth sometimes is not nice. So, but the topic tonight, and I like how my producer, which is awesome, he kind of changed the topic for me, because he wasn't trying to be a snowflake, but G-Man, he changed the topic.
We like G-Man.
Oh yeah, we do. Let me see. I got to go and see what the topic. No skills during SHTF. What are you worth? So I had the topic is, without skills, you are worthless. Apparently, and I understand. Yeah, you always get, the producer always wins.
Yes.
So, G-Man, but I labeled it, without skills, you're worthless. So, And I say that all the time. Matter of fact,
You do.
I spoke this weekend at a prepper conference.
Oh, yeah. How did that go?
It went great. You didn't come.
No.
Oh, you were busy all day Saturday. That's
yes,
right.
I was.
Well, we so I spoke, and we had tens of people. It was the weakest show I've ever been to in my life. In my own city. Well, Concord is close, but man, it was just so weak. Of course, there was, I guess, all the I'm not going to say rednecks because that would be just that would be bad to say. They're all at the race this weekend, which was literally like 4 miles down the road from our prepper. I'm like, who scheduled this? Because some of the same people, would go to both. Anyway. So anyway, it was
NASCAR
pretty.
NASCAR and NFL and fix things, right?
It was weak. But but in my speech, I speak on survival groups, and I always tell people, hey, if you don't have skills, you're useless.
That is true.
Yep.
He does all the time. He tells me that all the time.
Yeah, and my.
But you don't. You just say I'm useless.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I told you not to talk tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just like our friend. He's a lawyer, and I said, dude, you're useless. You have no skills whatsoever if something happens. Zero. And I asked him, I always say, can you even change a tire? He goes, I've seen it on YouTube. Oh, you're a genius. It's like preppers. Oh, I watched it on YouTube.
YouTube.
Hey, so tonight we had a Zello net for the Carolina Preppers Network. A bunch of people called in. We were talking about the skills and what skills you need. And it was pretty good information. So we do that every Monday night right before leading to our show. I told the guy that runs it, he doesn't have to do the same topic, but I guess it's an easy way for him to come up with a topic. So, but anyway, lawyers are actually useful.
See, now
they help you sight your rifle. Michael from Columbia.
Oh man.
Oh, that's nice.
Fun. He's always coming up with something good.
Hey, and Michael Klein has a radio show on this network at 9 p.m. on Friday nights, and it's awesome. He's way better than I am. Well, a little bit. I had lunch with Michael like last week. I went down there.
Awesome.
Had lunch. That was pretty cool. So anyway.
And there's your acronym right there. NFL, no fan leagues.
Yeah.
We always talk about acronyms. And I apologize. I did not.
You don't have an acronym?
I didn't create an acronym for last time. I thought I was going to come back. And
do you have one for this time? I'm going to smack you across this table if you don't.
I didn't
oh, my gosh.
You go ahead and talk, and I'll work on it right now.
You are fired.
Well, I mean, I have my acronym, which does relate to two skills. My SWIFT acronym. Okay, so some of the skills. So we're going. No, I'm not your SWIFT. No, I got your SWIFT. Yeah, your SWIFT wasn't too swift. Okay.
So some of the skills. So what we're going to do, we're going to break this up in the first half of the show is going to be just skills. What skills are good? What skills do people need to work on? What skills are easily attainable? And what skills are like a long-term commitment? The second half of the show is going to be a surprise.
Oh.
It's still about skills, but it's going to be a different kind of twist on skills, okay? So what would you say top skills to have?
Top skills to have.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I think first of all, you need to have some kind of survival skills. You need to know something.
Okay.
If you have nothing. Bushcraft.
That is so deep. I'm not sure I can follow you on that. You need to have what?
Well, it goes back to when we were talking about traveling and all these things connect and stuff. So and we talked about the skills that you need.
Right.
So being able to have those things of knowing what you need to do, that knowledge of once again, the shelter, the water, the food, knowing how to get there. You need to have those things before you go on anything else.
Don't be looking at what I'm doing on the website. He completely, I went to the computer, his eyes got big again, and he went, no. I was going to post the link on the Facebook, but I can't because you look at it.
Well, go ahead and post. I don't know.
Yeah, look over that way. Look at the stop sign over there. Yeah. But yeah, so skills, some of the skills, actual skills you need. because now's the time to get them. You can go to YouTube University. You can go to like Carolina Preppers Network. There are books to read, but you got to pick some skills and learn them, right? Some skills everyone should learn. You agree with that?
I do totally agree. It should be across the board.
Everyone needs to make a fire.
Yep.
Everyone needs to know how to do a shelter. Just some basic bushcraft skills. Everyone needs them.
Yeah. And
even your children.
Right.
Oh yeah. So.
And I think it depends on where you are, where you're going, and obviously what you're preparing for. I say that because some people prepare for very specific things. So if you're preparing for, a financial collapse, then, it would stand to reason that you need to have some skills knowing, hey, I've got to have some kind of silver, gold, and everything like that. You need to understand that. And that is a skill. It's not just
owning silver and gold.
Yeah, it's not just a prepping. You got to, while you're doing it, while you prep, you got to have that skill of knowing what to do.
Right.
So that you're not fooled or in a bad situation when poo-poo hits the fan.
Poo-poo hits the fan. So absolutely, you do have to have skill. And owning gold and silver there is some skill. I would say there's knowledge, but. Yeah, because I've bought some gold and silver in the past, and if you don't buy the right gold and silver, you could be messed up. But anyway, yes.
You don't put knowledge and skill together? Or are you just giving them two different?
No, because I give it two different things.
Okay.
Because a lot of people can have the knowledge on how to build a shelter. Okay. But they go out in the woods and they actually have never done it. It's totally different.
Very good point.
Now some of that you can translate. I know people that can't translate knowledge to skill.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
I do.
I mean, a lot of, I would say, engineers will have the knowledge, but they don't know how to actually do the function. Yeah. And a lot of people, I teach my survival school. A lot of people, they'll have the knowledge on how to do a fire starter, but when you put them there and they're doing it, it's the first time and they just can't do it. Or a bow drill. Matter of fact, everyone knows how to do a bow drill. You put it on your foot and you do the thing. Yeah. But 1% can actually do it and start a fire. Right. So.
Well, you'll give up too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So if you haven't done it and you don't have the proper experience, then you're going to give up. Then it becomes useless.
Right. And so, but there are some things, our knowledge that can easily be transferred to skills, for sure. But if you read a book on someone put blacksmith, if you read a book on blacksmith and you think you're going to, I've got that skill down. No, you might know the temperature, you might know everything in your head, but yeah.
Until you do it.
But I would say one of the most important skills to have. Ooh, most important. One of the most important skills.
I am ready. I'm listening.
Is to be able to plan.
Plan, great.
Because a lot of people, even over, if you can't plan and organize and even put together an educational program or a path for you to get skills, you just you got to have that basic ability.
So
organize and plan, I'll say that.
Okay, and I get that, and I believe that. Okay, but there are some skills that just don't work for everybody. You just can't. It's just like with jobs and.
I'm not a medical doctor.
Yeah. You can learn those things, but at the same time, I agree with you in the sense of, okay, I'm just going to look at it like a father, a husband. All right, I've got to, no matter what, hey, I've got to be able to plan and figure things out in that. Though I may not be the best planner or whatever, I still got to have that skill within that context. And so I think that's an important thing there.
Yep. So, of course, if a lot of people say gardening. Would you agree? You got to learn how to not only garden, but take seeds and grow them. What do you call that when you harvest the seeds and then grow it again? Yeah. What do you call that process?
Oh, just escape me. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever that process.
all I was going to tell you was that I just did that. Okay, so I just went out into my garden, and the stuff that had died, I was able to go get the seeds from because I have heirloom, and now I've got something that's going to last me not just next year but beyond that.
Yeah. So Michael in the forum, don't look. Michael in the forum,
so much.
he said farming. That's what it is. But that's not true, really, because farmers never cultivate the seeds from their plants. Never. Matter of fact, they can't because the seeds that they produce can't we reproduce. That's why you got to have heirloom seeds.
Well, yeah, you're talking about the modern day farming.
Yeah. Everyone's getting on that now. So anyway, there goes you looking at the screen again, and you just memorize. So farming, agriculture, and the three biggies too: fire, food, and shelter. I mean, they're huge.
And water.
And you don't need water. No.
I'll let you see fire, food, and shelter.
Okay, the four biggies.
And if your shelter catches on fire, you don't need water.
Right. Well, you could. Yeah.
Yeah, you do need water.
But yeah, I mean, so you got to learn how to procure water, food, how to a shelter. I'm not even when I teach the bushcraft class, I'm not so big on shelter.
Okay.
And the reason is that in America, in North Carolina, I don't care. If you walk for a mile and a half, you can find shelter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Unless you're on the Blair Witch Project movie. I just watched it, and since it's Halloween, approaching Halloween, I was just laughing at them. I'm like, they have walked around circles. Granted, it's a movie.
Okay, you need some little navigation there. But there's lots of houses. Even if you landed in my neighborhood, you could easily sneak in underneath someone's house, and they wouldn't even know. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's shelter everywhere. Even under a car, in a car break, anyway. So I do teach people how to build like an A-frame debris hut, but, I don't spend, even in the mountains, I mean, you can, within a day, you can find shelter. You can, unless you break your ankle or something. I'm sure someone's going to say something like that, then you need shelter. But yeah, so you need to be, but food, you need to know how to procure food, water, and you need how to create fire.
Hey, let's take a quick break.
Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.
And I would say each one of these, and you've heard me say this before, is that each skill leads to another skill. Like Forrest just said, I mean, we got to have experience, but which is very important. But we also need to understand, okay, if I know how to collect water, I know how to find water. Well, you can't just get any water. You got to have some knowledge to that. And so, what we're trying to get there, what I am trying to get to with that is go a little bit in depth with each of your skills. And what does that lead to? Like you said, for food, okay, I may know how to hunt,
right?
But do you know how to grow food? Do you know how to, keep livestock, chickens and rabbits? And we were having this discussion this week.
Mm-hmm.
And so skill to skill. So what I mean by that, each skill leads to another skill, and to know in depth of that skill. Maybe not super in depth. You don't have to be an expert, but you need to know for each situation that you may run across.
Right.
To be able to change that up.
Right. If you think you're going to read a book,
right,
in the time that the crap hits the fan, you're not going to. It's not going to happen, is it?
Right.
You're just not going to. It's just not going to work. So there are basic skills you need. You need them now.
Yes.
Okay. Now there's some. I got lists, like a list. So, but finding water, learning to cook. I mean, I'm just going through some of these. We can talk about them. Let's go down through this one. Medical and healthcare, doctors, nurses.
Yeah.
You know, there's some basic skills like CPR, how to bandage, that you can just kind of learn now. That's being a parent too.
Well, and it is common sense.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And when I was in the military, I was a hospital corpsman.
We hear that every time we have a show. I'm kidding.
So do my kids every time. Oh, here comes one of Daddy's stories. So, but it was our job. We call them hip pocket lessons or whatever, and I always had to teach my skill to one of the Marines or to one of the sailors, depending on where I was at. And I had to train. So I actually had CPR instructor training where I would train these guys CPR, and then I would even train certain ones that I felt that had a higher level how to be a CPR instructor. Then I could multiply myself. So, but the thing is that everybody that was under me knew this skill. They had to know that, because what happens if I'm in trouble? I'm going to need it, and I've been there. And if somebody doesn't have it,
right?
It's very important. So I would say definitely at least CPR, first aid.
I would say that's a top skill that you would need in a group.
Yeah.
Someone that understands. Yeah. Even I would put a dentist in there as well.
Oh, definitely.
Because you could live and be fine with a broken leg, and you can almost, with being an idiot, put something to stabilize it. Yeah. And it would, possibly get better. But if you have some chipped tooth or something like that, you would kill everyone to get that sucker fixed.
Right.
Or know the drug to take, but then that's just gonna. So another one we already covered: farming and water. We on water, how to purify water, dentistry, handyman, and carpentry. What do you think about that? Is that an important skill?
I would say so. The show alone. I like that show. You like that show?
I like that show. Okay. Except this year they weren't alone. No, but anyway,
this year was kind of anyway.
It was weird.
Get there. Yeah. So one of the coolest things that people have are those who have woodworking skills at some capacity. I really enjoy that, and they keep themselves, if they're alone. Right. Okay. All right. They can keep themselves going and entertained and be able.
You're talking about one guy built a hut. I don't think it was this last year. It was the year before. We had a thing where he pressed down on a stick, and water started pouring out, and he built a way to. Yeah, you remember all that? He built all these contraptions, and that keeps your mind going. It makes your life easier. Oh yeah, I mean, having skills to do things like that would be good, because the biggest pain, is one guy created this thing where he peed. And it just, you remember, and it took it a long ways away from his tent. I'm like, that's great, awesome. I need one in my room.
That's what he did, too. It was right beside his bed.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Smell that.
Yeah, I know. Okay, alternative energy. That's kind of interesting. I mean, I think that's a luxury. If you have that skill, because you're not always going to have the tools for the alternative energy.
Go more in depth. What do you mean by it?
I mean, there's solar panels, you're charging your phones, that's going to wear out. Yeah. Now, I mean, and you at that time, if you think you're going to build some kind of windmill that's going to create energy, if you don't have that stuff supplied, I mean, I guess you can tinker and figure that out and do it, but that's less likely. But having the skills to be able to do that is probably good. But I don't know. I mean, I guess understanding solar and how that works, or it would be fine. I don't know. I think that's a plus. but it's not a lifesaver.
It depends what you're prepping for.
Yeah.
If it's an EMP, would that be one of those skills that you would have? But if it is something else, if the EMP doesn't happen, that person's going to be very valuable in certain situations.
Correct. True. Yep. So someone that tinkers, mechanic, any skill, electronic engineer, anybody that does electronics, that would be a valuable skill. You can fix things, make them work for your advantage. Because anything electronic is a force multiplier in a grid down.
Yeah.
I mean, just about everything, I would think. So.
Well, I mean, that person may know how to work on, your communications. So I would connect them together. I would connect skills.
Well, the next one's blacksmith. Is that a good skill? Didn't it say blacksmithing? Blacksmith, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And gunsmith. I mean,
yeah.
So blacksmith, is it important?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, I can make spoons out of wood.
But there's more things. I mean,
nails maybe.
Blacksmiths, you think, okay, they're just making horseshoes and stuff like that. There's more than that they know. Only because in my family we had that. So they can make weapons. Like
swords and knives.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do know blacksmiths that know how to make ammunition. So that's important.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Would you not say? I mean, because if you're depending, what the proper things to get and to make ammunition and everything, especially I knew one guy that knew how to do black powder and stuff. So, how to make the right musket balls. And
okay.
He really got into those reenactments and everything. So.
Okay.
I think it could be worth it. Worthwhile.
It could be worth it. Okay, in the chat room, of course, Mercury 1, which is the CPN comm officer right now, said comms. So are comms important in a grid down?
Yes.
You liar. No. No, I'm going to say no just because Mercury 1 is listening. No, they are, because I didn't think they used to be as important as I do now. But I do think the knowledge you don't have can kill you.
Yeah.
You don't know that if someone's coming up or someone in the next town or the wrong government is trying to overtake, all this. So information can be helpful.
I think information's king.
Of course you do, because Mercury 1 has paid you money to say that. It is important. It is important, especially to communicate within your own group.
Okay.
I mean, if you got people down, at your corners or on your property, or doing a whatever you call that thing, where looking for signs of people and stuff. It is important to get that information back. Yes, and it is important to. I think it's more important to receive information from the outside world than to transmit to the outside world.
I think you could use it, to your advantage to be able to do that.
Okay.
And that goes back to what you were saying with planning. You got to it goes back to what is the scenario, what are you involved in to leverage each of these things. So I think it's an important thing.
Okay.
Information and communication.
Okay.
I was looking. I just thought, hey, we hadn't gone down the list, but yeah, so definitely. I would definitely add that. Well,
was it on there? Yeah, it's not even on there. I didn't even put it on there.
In the military, that's an important thing that we need.
Yep.
So.
Also, how about livestock and animal husbandry?
Yes.
You do chickens.
Well, yeah, like I was saying earlier. Yeah.
I do rabbits.
Yeah, right.
Is there a thing with chickens, or how do you do that? I mean, you just every now and then just pick some eggs and let them hatch? I mean, because you got to reproduce them, right?
You can.
Okay.
You don't need a rooster.
Okay.
You just, but obviously your eggs are just going to be eggs.
Okay, so you need a rooster to
fertilize the egg.
Okay.
Well, we're going to have a whole nother class. This is a whole other show.
Okay. I do rabbits, and you definitely need a male.
But no, a chicken, a hen lays eggs. What is it? At least every day. You might skip a day or whatever. So, but no, they do not need a rooster to be able to lay the eggs. But if
they want to,
all your chickens die,
you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So also, I'm not sure it's on here, but G-Man, our producer, wrote a book on like land navigation.
Oh, definitely. I was writing that.
You wrote that? Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. You're
right there. Look.
But land navigation and G-Man, if you go to prepperbroadcasting.com, I'm sure you can find his book on there on land navigation.
Yeah.
Because that is important.
Definitely important. And then again, they're a skill to skill, not just, hey, whenever we think about this, hey, I know how to read a map and a compass, but do you know how to navigate at night?
Right, and also like a topo map. And if you're going on a scouting adventure and you look at the topo map and all of a sudden there's a 50-foot cliff behind that bush, I mean, you better be able to see that that's coming.
Right.
And if you're trying to get to a lake and you see there's an 800-foot drop, I mean, you're going to have to climb back up. I mean, so it is important. And so, but yeah, on prepperbroadcasting.com is G-Man's book that he made. So how much time? We got a couple more minutes.
Okay.
And then we're going to, how about live security, tactical? Which one do you want to talk about? You pick one and I'll pick one.
Okay. Security, tactical. I would say those are very important. That, again, goes back to your planning and strategy. It's a different form of planning and strategy to have that.
Yes.
Different levels of security. I'm not saying that everyone's got to know some kind of martial art or something like that, but you need to be able to know how to organize that and how to secure perimeter and different types of security. Again, skill to skill. Okay,
and some of the other ones we haven't mentioned here, gunsmith and reloading, foraging, hunting, fishing, trapping, butchering, mechanical welding, sewing, clothes making, and peach cobbler. Oh, it's not
cobbler. Yeah,
I know. I know. Oh, but I'm going to talk about hunting and fishing. I'm a firm believer after the crap hits the fan, there's going to be very little hunting. I mean, after 2 months, there's going to be very few deer who run around. Because if you take every hunter in America, if they shot 2 deer, that almost takes care of the population. But then you got Billy Joe Bob, and they're shooting deer, and all of a sudden everyone's shooting food, and the idiots don't know how to save it. It's gone.
Yeah.
Fishing is a little bit more of an art than hunting, than mass hunting. I mean, if there's 100 people looking for a deer, they're going to find a deer and kill it. They may kill each other.
Yeah.
But, so I would say that there are some skills that is valuable. The trapping and butchering, for sure butchering, and I would say curing meat as well.
Yeah.
Because that's a big thing, even on the show alone. I mean, if you can't save your food, I mean, it's almost, you have to eat it immediately.
Yeah. And again, I mean, you're saying it right now. Again, each skill will connect, and you got to go a little bit more in depth, skill to skill. With that hunting, foraging, while you're out there hunting, hey, I'm on this, trek to go to my deer stand or where I'm going to do the hunting at. Hey, I see these berries and other flowers or wild edibles. I need to be able to forage and grab those things because I can use them for different purposes. Okay, we're going to go to a break, and then we're going to talk about something that I haven't let you know. We haven't discussed this, and so I know it's going to shock you a little bit. I'm covering my notes so you don't see them. Right.
So hey, we're gonna go. G-Man in the studio is going to play. I think we got 3 commercials, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hi, I'm Joe Alton, MD, also known as Dr. Bones of the award-winning survival medicine website doomandbloom.net, and co-author of the bestseller The Survival Medicine Handbook. As a medical doctor, I know how important it is to have knowledge, but you'll need supplies if you're going to save lives in a disaster. We've got an entire line of medical kits for every homestead, retreat, workplace, vehicle, church, school, just about any purpose you might imagine, and they're all put together by a real MD and nurse practitioner. Other kits are fine when the ambulance is on the way, but when you're the end of the line with regards to your family's well-being, you'll be a more effective medical asset with kits and supplies uniquely designed for tough times and packed in the USA. Prepare your family for any disaster with medical kits and supplies at store.doomandbloom.net. That's store.doomandbloom.net. Make medical kits by Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy a part of your medical storage. You'll be glad you did.
Do you have the ultimate wood-burning collapsible survival and camping stove? Stop looking. The Under 6 Elite Survival Stove by SurvivalStoveworks.com can cook a meal in under 6 minutes with just a few twigs and sticks and without all the smoke and black soot. The Under 6 Elite weighs under 6 pounds and can be assembled in under 1 minute. This survival stove is made in the USA by patriots and preppers like you with high-quality steel. The Under 6 Elite Stove with all the extras is also easy to store and transport in its own carrying case. It's on sale now with free shipping. See it in action and get yours now at SurvivalStoveworks.com. That's SurvivalStoveworks.com.
We have exciting news. You can now afford to have your own freeze dryer. That's right, for the first time ever, it's possible to have a freeze dryer in your home. It was invented right here in America by Harvest Right. With this new appliance, you can freeze dry your own food and it will last 25 years. Imagine freeze drying fruit, vegetables, meat, and your own homemade meals. It's as easy to use as a microwave. Learn more about this amazing home freeze dryer at harvestright.com. Again, that's harvestright.com.
Hey, we're back. Thank you for them commercial break. We are back.
And we're back. Okay.
Well, we paid for the show enough to come back. So with the commercial break. Okay, so this is a topic I want to bring up because it goes right in with skills. And to be honest, tenderfoot, sitting across the table, you have no idea what we're going to talk about next.
None.
It's still going to have to do with skills.
Okay.
But we talked about it on the Zello channel, and since you're not on the Zello channel.
At that time, no.
Yep, okay. So now we're going to talk about you're at your retreat.
Yes.
With your family or whoever's in your group. You're at your location. And now someone comes to the gate. How do you handle that person? And does the skills change how you handle them? And then how do you identify that they have skills? Because this is an important topic we talked about on the Zello channel. So if someone comes to your gate, your retreat, and they go, please help, I need food.
Okay.
Okay. Do you just shoot everyone that comes to your gate? Okay.
Yeah, but first of all, I already know skills that they don't have.
Which is navigation. They could have that, and they found you.
They got that down, but we really need to navigate when we're at our place. So, but obviously they may have not prepped, or maybe their stuff got
taken away.
And
their whole family was killed 50 miles down the road, and they show up at your doorstep.
Yes. First of all,
you shoot them.
I've got.
Oh no. Okay.
I've got a good perimeter.
Okay.
Lined up, so I already know. Is there anyone else with them in their party somewhere else?
But do you?
But do I? If I had comms.
Well, I got a solution for that. But keep going.
Okay. I don't know. How would I deal with it? I don't know. I would deal with it as it comes. I mean, it's a case by case. Really,
a guy comes up and says, "Hey, I'm a handyman. I need food. I'll help you. What do I need to? I mean, will you take that person in?"
It depends on what I also need, because we're always going to be in some kind of need, even in that situation. Even though I've got the upper hand,
right?
But I don't want to change that hand, so I do have to be at the same time your security, right? So again, I'm already going to have a plan and someone in place, and we're going to have a plan in place to make those determinations.
So here's my take on skills.
Okay.
The skills we just went over. When you're at your retreat and someone comes to your gate, some of these skills are meaningless.
At that point.
They really are.
Yeah.
Some of them are not as important as other skills. If a doctor comes up to any retreat and he can verify he's a doctor, that is an asset you always want.
Yes.
Do you really need a farmer? Because don't you have farmers and people that can do the seeds already in your group, many?
You think.
So you probably wouldn't want it. You wouldn't want them. You already have that. That's already built into your group skill set.
Yeah.
Now, if you only had one or the other one was shot or something, then maybe. Same with water, filtration and shelter and survival skills. Doesn't everyone in your group already have that? So you really don't need that kind of skill set. Let's go through here. Food preservation. Your group should already have that. So that's not an important skill then.
Okay.
Because one of the things I say in all my speeches, if you don't have a skill, you're worthless in a grid down. And it's not only the skill, it's the kind of skill you have.
Right.
And so, because everyone thinks these are all important, and we just went through that. But now I'm proven, in a sense, that some of these are less important if you're not in a group.
Okay.
Okay, and let's go through dentistry. Boom. Everyone's going to take a dentist. If he can prove he has a dentist, boom. I would think he could get in any group he wanted to. Carpentry, handyman, not so much.
I don't know. I think
you got people that with skills. You got a group of your family members, and you put together a group. You would think you would have that covered.
But do you not need more workers?
Maybe labor person. Okay, now that's a different one. We're going to get to that.
Okay.
Alternative energy, maybe.
Okay.
If they're like an electronic engineer and there are a lot of cars and batteries and things, maybe. Blacksmith, that's a maybe too. Maybe in the beginning. Okay, if a blacksmith on day one comes to your camp, or week one or month one, that skill you're going to go, no, I don't need that skill. Come back in a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Livestock. We already have people that does livestock and how to manage that. So some of these skills, a gun. I can shoot a gun. I've been to the range. All this kind of. Well, every one of our group members can do that now because we're well trained.
But if he has security expertise,
yes,
then that kind of changes it. You can't. So, that's just like your doctors and all. I don't think you can get it.
I agree. I agree with that. Hunting and fishing. Hunting and fishing at that time is kind of not as important because you already have your food. And I'm just saying with the skill set you have in your group and no one's dead and everyone's still functioning, some of these skills are going to be useless to your group. Would you agree?
I think so, unless you take the concept that I have also with the skill to skill, and if they went a little bit more in depth, there might be something that is still needed and used. Okay, true. So I consult with groups all the time, and one of the things I suggest for groups, how they put this together, is someone comes up out of the blue to their gate. The first thing they do is apprehend them. Okay. Totally apprehend them, separate them completely. Almost stripped down to their clothes. All their equipment and belongings are moved to the side, and then they are absolutely quarantined in a room by themselves for a period of time. And then you already have pre-questions that you want to ask them to prove if they have a skill or not. You don't know who they are; they could be lying. And so you need expert questions to test them on their skills, no matter what that is. I agree. And you don't need to make it up on the fly, so it needs to be made up beforehand. Yes. Because that guy may have died. You know what I mean? Right. And you need the question and the right answer kind of thing. And you're looking for the comms guy, and you got to prove to us you're a comms guy, and we might not have the answers, but we have them written down. Then you also quarantine them in a room because you don't know if they're sick. You also quarantine because it could be a scout. Yes. And you keep them for a week or 2 weeks at least to find out if other people are going to come looking for them. Very good point.
Because if they're just by themselves, after about 2 or 3 weeks. So, when I mean apprehend, literally they're secured in a building and can't get away. Right. And I know that sounds awful, but I think that's what you got to do.
I don't know. That does sound awful. That goes back to what I was just talking about, is that you've got to have a security plan. Yes. Mm-hmm. When that comes up as well. Yep. And then, and so you do that, and you have these questions, and if you verify that's a skill you need, and there's not a skill on there. One of the skills that I would have put on there is like a theologian, someone with good personal skills, psychiatric. Yeah. Skills to help people manage the issue. So that's some of the things that are not on there. But now if you find out you don't need that skill, the guy was lying, what do you do with that person? If the person is fully lying,
or he has zero skills, and all he's going to do is eat your food, and he has no value. There's two things you can do, and people do not hate me for this. I'm just going back in time. You can make that person, in a sense, an indentured servant. We're going to feed you. You're not going to be a slave, but we're going to feed you. We're going to watch you. You're not part of our group, but if you do labor, you can one day possibly earn your way into a full membership.
Gotcha.
The other thing is you take a team and you take them out in the middle of nowhere and drop them off and say, if we see you again, it's not going to be good for you. No questions, it's not going to be good for you. The other thing, a lot of groups say you just do the bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them.
No, I'm not one of them.
But I might have someone in my group who would do that. But I'm not that person. So, but some of the things you got to look at. Okay, there's an active shooter, Texas Tech, right now. Campus on lockdown. Just got that from Alert USA. Man, this is live, cutting-edge news coming 24 minutes, or actually like 40 minutes a week. But anyway, some things to think about. So the skills that everyone are working on right now, and if they're not in a group, they could be. It could determine if they're going to be people are going to take care of them or not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I stress this all the time is, I mean, yeah, you need to learn how to do seeds and gardening, but if you're going to be an important part of a group, they may already have that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to food preservation, I would think that's an important skill. But you know what? We already have someone in our group that can do that. A couple people. We don't really need any more experts in that.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? So the skills you learn now, you need to think about what is going to be very important that you're useful to any group out there.
So we all need to be doctors.
Yeah, no. Yes. Or have I think the electronics, I think the comms, I think medical for sure. I also think food preservation is a higher skill than like carpentry for sure. Blacksmith is more important months after the crap hits the fan, not in the beginning. And so I think people need to do, they're short-sighted if they just go, oh, my skill is going to be, gardening. Well, you know what? Our group already has like 6 gardeners.
Yeah.
And they know how to save seeds. I mean, all of a sudden it's an important skill, but most groups that are already formed and put together, they're going to have that. Now, some groups, like if you read the book 1 Second After, any skill would have been good for them because they didn't have any skills. But that wasn't a official formed group. That was just a city trying to survive.
Right.
So you shoot everyone, and no, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So I am good then because
you're medical.
I'm medical.
Yeah. But no one likes you.
No.
Okay, I'm kidding.
But okay,
everybody loves you.
All right, now here's the other thing. All right, I'll take that, and let's say you do have somebody. He is a doctor, or he is something that you need, or you can definitely add to the group. But guess who he's got with him?
A whole family.
A whole family.
You just kill him.
Oh,
no, I'm kidding. I am kidding.
If you need food, that's wrong.
Yeah. Dude, that's even worse. Oh my gosh. That was Tenderfoot that said that.
Right. You're a bad influence.
But that is interesting. I mean, if they do have a group of people or a family, I mean, that skill has got to be very important to your group because they're going to be eating your food.
Yeah.
To have that skill.
And then you can also find out what they have.
They're gonna have nothing. They can only carry a backpack.
Well, no, I mean, but what skills they all.
Oh, the other, yeah.
But obviously kids aren't gonna have, skills and stuff like that. But then, hey, you need to be prepared for that.
Right.
You also need to be prepared that people will, and I think you've talked about this. You need to be prepared for people are going to come up, if you want to say your gate, your door,
right.
Whatever. How are you going to handle that when you bring them in? If you are going to bring them in, I mean, if a child is at my door I'm not turning a child away.
That's funny. In one of our meetings a long time ago, we were playing a conflicted card game, and the first question in the room, no one really knew each other. One of our first meetings, and it said 3 orphans come to your gate, and the guy's reading the card. And 3 orphans come to your gate. What do you do? And he said, literally, blow their head off. And everybody in the room, it just changed the entire mood of the room. We're like, what? Yeah. It really was awkward and weird. But, yeah.
And he wasn't joking. He was serious.
Oh, yeah, he was. It was exactly serious. But it is interesting if an orphan. So what my group plan is to take care. I mean, the first few months is just to hide, literally hide.
Yeah.
And maybe that could be first few, it could be 2, could be 6 months.
It depends on the situation.
Depends on the situation and the information we're getting. And then after that, we've got a plan to help the community, but not from our retreat. We got a plan to go down to maybe a local store or church to help others.
Yes. And
that takes a lot of planning. That takes putting food in Mylar bags and putting spices in there and filling them up and having them pre-positioned and let other people divvy them out where our group is never compromised.
Right.
And so, anyway, that's some of the things that we have tried to put together because I don't know. I serve a higher power, and if I let everyone die without having some compassion on people, I think that would be really bad.
But I think it makes a group have more leverage, more powerful, if you will, in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
That they are, I guess the only word I can say is humanitarian or whatnot.
Right.
They are also care about the outside community.
Right.
Because let's face it, I still, even in this situation, I'm hoping that things can get back to order where I'm not having to depend on living in a little small village because you're not gonna last forever.
Right. And that's one of the things for CPN is kind of one of the things that we believe is that, hey, let's make the community better, which will make everything better.
Yes.
So let's prepare. That's why we invite everyone. We're in 17 cities now and almost 6,000 members. Anyone can come to our meetings in the Carolinas. And that's CarolinaPreppersNetwork.com if you're interested, but to know more about it. But we invite anyone in. And it's almost, so we are trying to train anyone and motivate people to get skills and to preserve food and to have things and skills. So when the crap does hit the fan, we're not caught off guard, even when a natural disaster happens, in Florida or wherever, the people are prepared.
Right. You have to keep in mind, and you've talked about this before, is, in your family. So that's the easiest place to start. Have others learning those skills. And then your family becomes very valuable.
Right.
And that's, again, going back to this community idea, making the community better. And, if my kids, even at their age, can learn valuable skills and be valuable. And so can my wife and myself. And so it makes you stronger because and then people will see you already doing that, and that already makes you a leader.
Right.
And very valuable because, hey, wait a minute, this person has organized this to be able to teach the family or their group or whatever, but you've got to learn multiple things. And then maybe I'm not learning skill A, my wife's learning that skill while I'm working on skill B or whatever. It just makes you more. But you need to know just enough of what she's doing or he or wherever, however, which way you're going here. And then... that totally didn't.
You just...
Oh, the looks that we give each other sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Totally throws me off. I could not keep a straight face. But you're learning these skills. You know just enough in a sense, I guess, to be dangerous.
Right.
For that skill as well.
But I over time, I've come to I've come to the point to believe that everyone needs to master one skill that is very worthwhile to any group. Okay. And that's medical, whatever it may be. You need to be the king. And one thing I always tell people, even this weekend when I spoke, is two things about a group and skills. We got 3 minutes left. G-Man is telling us. If you're an older person, you need to be the smartest person there, because smart and knowledge is important. If you're a handicapped person, you better be the most important person with your skills and knowledge, so a group will want you and take care of you. What are you laughing about this?
I gotta quit
out
looking
of
at
the
this.
closet.
I think y'all are just totally misunderstanding.
yeah, he just came out right now. The date of the day is October 9th, and Tenderfoot.
Forget it. No, I was trying to. That just totally did not come out right.
Hey, but yeah, and so anyway, that's a little bit about skills, and so we went through the skills that everyone needs.
Yes.
But then you need to take that to a different level when you're thinking about being part of a group.
Okay.
Because some of the skills are really not very important if you're wanting to be a part of a group.
Yes.
So you need to make sure you can have skills to be part of a group. We're running out of time here. Hey, guys, we have an incredible guy coming on. Well, first of all, you're not going to be here next week. Great. Thanks for telling me. So we'll come up with something. I mean, probably listener base will double. I'm just kidding. But Mark Goodwin is coming on October 30th of this month. He's going to be live. We're going to be asking him questions. He does the podcast Prepper Recon, which is amazing. I listen to it. I've listened to it for a long time, over a year, almost every one he's done. And he's written books like The Days of Noah, Days of Elijah. I mean, and they're awesome books. And he's coming October 30th. He'll be on the radio show with us live. And you've never done a live show, have you? Wait, never. I mean with an interview, because it is different. We have to set things up different. But yeah, he'll be on with us live on the 30th. Hey guys, this is the Prepping Academy radio show. Again, we come live every Monday night. We used to be on Friday nights. Every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, go check out our website. Join our mailing list. It's preppingacademy.com. Prepping with a P. academy.com. Preppingacademy.com. Go check us the site out. You can listen to some of our old. Give us a good feedback on iTunes, because Google Plus doesn't really care because no one listens with Google Plus. No, anyway. So anyway, you won't be here next week. No. We're going to come up with something really entertaining, I'm sure. It's probably be one of the best shows ever.
Talking about me.
Yeah, talking about you. You can call in. Ooh. But yeah, no.
Situation where I'm at.
Oh, okay. Hey, guys. Hey, thanks for listening. And again, we will see you guys next week. I'll see them next week. I'll talk to them. So anyway, y'all have a good week. Take care.
Thanks so much for listening to the Prepping Academy with your hosts, Forrest and Kyle, live on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Prepper Broadcast Network at PrepperBroadcasting.com. We'll catch you next time on the Prepping Academy.
Today's broadcast has come to you through the courtesy of the Prepper Broadcasting Network. See our hosts, show schedules, archived programs, and more at PrepperBroadcasting.com. Thanks for listening.
Has your data been hacked? Do you feel uneasy about the vulnerability of your personal information online? Were you involved in the Target, LinkedIn, or Microsoft data leaks? Don't know? If not, then pay attention. Join Forrest Garvin from PrepperNet for a free webinar on privacy and security. Gain insights into safe internet browsing, VPNs, crafting online aliases, secure emails, detecting if your data has been hacked, and managing passwords. Secure your spot today for this webinar on privacy and security. It's free. This webinar delves into comprehensive strategies for bolstering your online privacy. We've got you covered, from fortifying your passwords to shielding your financial information and mastering state-of-the-art encryption techniques. We're offering 2 convenient dates to suit your schedule. Reserve your spot now at preppernet.com/privacy. Don't let cyber threats erode your peace of mind any longer. Take the first step toward a safer, more secure online experience by joining us for our free webinar. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to safeguarding your privacy. Sign up now at preppernet.com/privacy. We'll see you there.